age verification.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Northern gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. I was speaking on this last week about how Esau was getting ready to crack down on these particular platforms because of his exposure and being outed on the world stage. Now, as we mentioned, YouTube now is getting ready to do age verification. I remember back in the day, and even they still do it to some degree, that if they speculate that you're under a certain age, and then they would say, well, hey, they had put like a prompt up there, like if you're 18 years old or something like that. It was like a prompt they used to put on there when they have videos on there that promotes violence or like some adult type content, not like adult content, but meaning things that's not appropriate for kids. They will have a prompt up there saying to, if you want to watch this video, then click here, you know. But it's so funny now that how they want to do age verification by having you to upload some type of credit card or some type of ID. And I remember they was hitting at this for some time, because even when you do like the YouTube music or the ad free, or when you go through the Google ordeal, sometimes they will want you to put in like a credit card information and all this other stuff, man. So they was already experimenting with this idea for some time, because, hey, the Most High is getting ready to bring this thing to a close. Okay, we're getting ready to be kicked off these platforms because, I mean, they say by August 13th, you're going to have to upload your ID. And it's true, they already know who we are. But at the same time, it's just like, why the fuck do I need to upload an ID in order to use your platform when I've been on this fucking platform for 16 years? You know, probably longer. I don't know. Shit, I've been on the YouTube even before I came into the truth. I started using YouTube around 2006. I remember because I used to, you know, watch music videos and watch the Illuminati videos and all this other stuff. So all of a sudden now we have to upload ID in order to watch YouTube and even put up our videos, because they want to know who. They have to make a list of who's who and who's saying what. So therefore, when it's something that you don't like, then all of a sudden they could come knocking at your door saying, well, look, this is inappropriate. You either take it down or you face fines. And this is where we're coming into. Okay, draconianism, all right? This is a draconian type setup, which you go into draconian. And, hold on. Draconian to hell wings. No, ain't that shit. Let's look up draconian. Draconian meaning, right? It says draconian means extreme, severe, harsh, or cruel, especially in reference to laws or punishment. It says the term originates from Draco, an Athenian law scribe from the 7th century BC, known for his exceptionally strict legal code where even minor offenses were punishable by death. Okay, so you get where this is going, right? Eventually, it's going to be illegal to speak out against this system because they want to silence the prophets and anybody that's speaking truth. So you got the likings of Candace Owens, which she's a plant. Okay, information came out that she was set up and her husband is a Malachite. Then you got this guy by the name of Myron Gaines. And you know what's funny though, as popular as Myron Gaines' show is, you notice that when you click on his videos, they're not monetized. At least to my understanding. I clicked on one of his videos yesterday. I watched like 2 or 3 of his videos, and he was going in on small hats. And you notice those videos are not monetized, you know. But what made him change his stance from speaking out against women and feminism, you know, and all this other stuff, to all of a sudden now he's just grilling Amalek left and right? So you got to ask yourself, what are they doing? Okay, because you got to understand that they have to push certain ordeals in order to protect these people, and they're gonna say, well, look, these people are under attack. This is anti-Semitic. We have to do something about this. But how the hell is exposing the problem of the earth being anti-Semitic? And this is what they use because this is a wicked ass society. So eventually you're not going to have no rights to do or say anything, which is a total violation of your constitutional rights, your freedom of speech. And then they use the ploy, well, we're doing it to protect the children, but corporations have nothing. These are private corporations and NGOs that's making the dictation over people's lives, man. So since when does a child safety problem become a corporation problem, a corporate problem? Okay, that has nothing to do with it. That's up to the parents. And if you really cared about children, you would be pushing all this woke, gender biased bullshit on TV, saying that being a man is toxic, but we have to experiment with our other sides. You pushing this on kids. You got it on Nickelodeon. You got it on Cartoon Network, whatever network the children watch. You got all this debauchery on these other platforms that kids have free access to, and nonetheless you're putting it in all the shows. So if you really gave a damn about kids, you just would have banned all that content together. Oh, Miley Cyrus plays with the poodle in striped clothing now, type of deal. So this man is a total goddamn hypocrite. But it's all good though, because the Most High is getting ready to destroy this kingdom. And this is why this is happening. So, hey brothers, we're getting ready to be put off this thing. Eventually we're not gonna be able to go out to the streets. Eventually we're not gonna be able to upload videos online. And eventually you're gonna need the microchip. And for damn certain, that's off the question. That's off the books. We can't even think about going in that route. So prepare your minds, prepare your spirits to deal with what's getting ready to come down the pipe, because this man is getting ready to lose his shit. All right. So anyway, let me get a scripture real quick, and we'll play this video, and then we'll get a couple more precepts, because this is getting ready to get real draconian around these premises. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel 7, and I'm gonna start at verses 26. Yep. It says, mischief should come upon mischief, and rumor should be upon rumor. Then they should seek a vision from the prophet, or seek a vision of the prophet. But the law should perish from the priest, and the counsel from the ancients. So eventually, we're not going to be around to give the counsel that's needed in order to get right with the Heavenly Father and the Son. All right. Eventually, we just going to have to say, hey, you know what? The Lord he's going to pretty much take us out the way. And that's when the destruction is going to come to pass, man, because people, they're going to allow it. They're not going to fight for the freedoms. They're not going to do anything at this point. And the elites are pushing this on people because they know that these people are not going to stand up and come up against them. These people ain't going to start to fight and revolt until the food systems get hit and when the money system collapses. But by that time, it's going to be entirely too late, because you're going to have a whole system of oligarchs controlling you, which this is pretty much the case now. So anyway, let's play this video real quick.
So YouTube is now asking everybody to upload their driver's license to make sure that there's an age verification. Spotify is doing the same. Now, think about this for a second. They want you silenced. They just knock on your door. They don't even have to look you up. They already have all your information. They want to do it to protect the children. Like, share, and repost this as many times as you can. Share with your friends. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about no goddamn kids, man. You can post this 1,000 times. At the end of the day, people don't care. These people ain't gonna do nothing, man.
It's in the Constitution. We have the freedom of speech. I understand that there's a child video problem. Get rid of it. You guys haven't gotten rid of it yet. When are you gonna start getting rid of it? The whole internet's supposedly full of it if you just look for it. But you want my driver's license? Come on. This is out of control. This is like the book 1984. This is crazy. What are you guys thinking? How are we going to stop this?
Starting August 13th, people in the US are going to have to submit their ID to watch YouTube. Mark my words, being anonymous online is coming to an end. In the near future, if you want to fully access the internet, you'll need to fully identify who you are behind the screen. It sounds dystopian now, but it's where we're headed.
Mark my words, we're about to watch our freedom of speech go down the drain. YouTube will now be asking you to upload your identification for age verification. So they're basically saying if the AI feels that you are younger than the appropriate age, they'll ask you to to upload your identification. And they're going to do the same thing with Spotify, but then it's going to start to roll over to other apps. Right now in other countries, they're doing the same exact thing. But this is where it gets wicked, right? See, we've learned that when they tell you one thing, they're planning something else behind it. And imagine this. You upload your identification. There's a breach. Well, at least they say there's a breach. And they trying to put it off on data hackers. Because that's what they will say, but that will be a lie. They will basically be monitoring everything that you do on these apps, on these platforms. And if you say the wrong thing, they'll silence you. Think about how China is on a point system. If you do the wrong thing, you might not even be able to spend your own money. And that shit gets deep in itself. Because you might voice your opinion on a topic on social media, and they might feel it's wrong. And this rabbit hole gets very, very deep. Think about this. YouTube is one of the biggest search engines on the planet right now. Think about what they can do if they have your actual identification, face, place, everything. See, that's going over a lot of people's heads. It's going to cause a lot of problems. Mind you, YouTube has been here forever. Why would they start asking for identification now? This is bigger than children just getting on the internet. The voice you have could cause a lot of problems once they have access to all of that information. Trust me. Or don't.
Will you need ID to watch YouTube? Yes, even in the US, starting on August 13th, 2025. If AI thinks you're under 18, you might have to provide an ID for full access. In a move that mirrors the ID verification laws that have recently taken effect in the UK and EU countries, YouTube has announced that it will use AI to determine whether a viewer is 18.
Yeah, how the fuck is AI gonna determine anything? Like, you a fucking whole computer algorithm. Now you gonna tell me and make me verify my age? I've been using this platform for X, Y, and Z. You mean to tell me I ain't reached my 18th birthday yet? The hell out of here, man. This is all about control, bro. At the end of the day, and we've been telling you people for the longest that they're gonna start to push things in increments and through gradualism, and eventually they're gonna start to take away conveniences, and we're seeing it happen. Okay, just the average person is too goddamn stupid and dumb to even realize that's what the hell is going on, because they're so flabbergasted by everything that's going on around them, man. They're not even paying attention. People are just distracted, you know, and they're just too docile, okay, because the average person is worried about putting food on their damn table and staying out of debt when this society is basically drowning you, man. Okay, it's like being put in a like inside of a tube or a chamber, and you have 20 feet in the chamber and the water is going up to the top, and you're trying to stay above, but the water is gonna carry you until it submerges you, and that's you people fight for something you already lost. You ain't doing nothing, you know. So yeah, the famine of the word is getting ready to come. All right. And YouTube already had, yeah, the brother said YouTube already have the information already. I mean, yeah, they do. I mean, technically honest, if you got a Google account and it's traced to your phone, they do already have your information. But at the same time, too, it's about control. You know, so that's kind of like up for, I mean, they do have your information. They have everybody's information. But at the same time, just uploading the picture, that's a little bit evasive, man. You know, so a lot of people are going to be on the fence about that. So we just going to see how the spirit have us to move and what to do from this point. But, you know, overall, we're not really hiding. It is what it is. But you don't want your information on some public server that corporations have access to sell your data, because that's how the breaches came. Okay, these corporations were selling our data and shit, man. You know?
Or older, purportedly based upon their viewing habits. If the AI works as advertised, then adult users won't even know that it's there, purportedly. But if the algorithm gets it wrong, users will have YouTube's nanny controls activated automatically, resulting in restrictions on what they can watch. Misidentified users then have the option to provide proof of their age by way of supplying a valid credit card or government-issued ID. Supporters claim this will help shield children from harmful content and fight so-called misinformation. But privacy advocates note that the duty to protect our children from online threats rests with the parents and not big business. They've labeled these plans as a Trojan horse designed to usher in social credit scoring and license for the internet schemes to limit free speech.
Absolutely. Okay. We already read that Ezekiel 7:25. It says, destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor upon rumor. and they should seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priests and counsel from the ancients, man. All right, so yeah, eventually, like I mentioned, we're not going to be on YouTube or online in a short while. That's just my opinion, but I don't see us being on there for 3 more years, man, because things are coming down quick. Okay, this is part of Esau's great wrath that he's coming upon the people with. All right, the scriptures goes into having great wrath, you know. Here, it's the book of Amos 8, and I'm going to start at verses 11. It says, "Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh." Right, so you see, this is the Lord's program, because the elect is pretty much sealed, in my humble opinion. You know, things are already where they need to be, so now the Most High just finna bring this thing on home. And it's not really even Esau, it's the Most High. He's allowing this shit because he's getting ready to put an end to this man's kingdom. Okay, the warning has gone out, and honestly speaking, shit, we're tired of warning you niggas, man, because you don't want to listen. So, how about you, how shy? Hey, he's getting ready to pull the plug. And it says here, "And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. And in that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst," right? Because they're going to want to get this knowledge, but they're not going to have the likings of it. Okay, you may have a Rakar video from GOCC, which this clown is talking about, prove that Cornelius is an Israelite. Like, we've done that. We've done that. We've done several videos proving that Cornelius is indeed an Israelite. So we're not finna go back over this lesson just to convince some bubble-eyed nigga that's the case because he wants to say fucking white people. Like, dude, get your ass out of here. You're not even relevant anymore. Okay, you don't even go out to the streets, and you got Edomites in your congregation. Nobody's listening to you, man. Dude is a total clown, like Apostle Star said. He's the biggest joke in Israel. And the Most High is going to destroy his ass, man, because he ain't right any goddamn way. But, let's go here. First Maccabees. Because it's all about Draconian, man. Draconianism. It's about the New World Order. Alright, so this is the book of First Maccabees 1. And I'm going to start at verses. The whole chapter is really good. But I want to get to the point when he wrote the decree. Yep, this is the book of First Maccabees 1. And I'm going to start at verses 28. And it says, "The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector to tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came into Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit. For when they had given him cretins, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel." All right, and that's the point. This is getting ready to happen again, because this is all about a new world order. If you don't want to get down with their program, then they're going to see that you're eliminated. Hey, that's what it is. Georgia Guidestones. You ain't down with the new world order, eventually you're just going to get out. They're going to excommunicate you out of here, whether that's by physically extracting your spirit from your body, or they just throwing you out in the middle of nowhere with nowhere to live. Okay, which is a death in itself. And it says here, "And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children they took captive and possessed the cattle." All right. And it says, "And they builded the city of David with a great and strong wall and with the mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them." So they basically besieged Jake's cities. Okay, and they get ready to do that again in the form of martial law when they start rolling upon our people. So a lot is getting ready to happen all at once, man. You know. Second Esdras 5. And I'm going to start at verses 9. It says, "And the salt water should be found in a sweet, and all friends should destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber." Yep, that's truth. Okay, the Lord is getting ready to take his spirit off the earth, man. And it's getting ready to be bad. Bad for anybody that's not covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai. And it says here, "And should be salt of many, and yet not be found. then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon the planet Earth. All right. And it says in one land, matter of fact, we looked up this word account, but let's look it up again real quick. Incontinence means inability to control the flow of urine from the bladder. Okay, it says urinary or the escape of stool from the rectum, fecal incontinence, which means a lack of voluntary control. Okay, so basically it just means that people are not going to have control over the affairs of their lives. Okay, especially when the famine sets in, people are going to start to falter. People's hopes are going to start to lose. People are not going to have hope in their governments anymore, and to the point you're going to be locked into this credit-based system, which is going to eventually feed you with the MOTB. You know, and it says here, it should be sought of many and not be found, and then should unrighteousness and uncontinency be multiplied upon the earth. And one land shall ask another and say, is righteousness that make a man righteous going through thee? And it shall say, no. And at that same time, men shall hope but nothing obtain, and they shall labor, but they shall not prosper in their ways, man. So this is where we're heading, man. All right. So, hey, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakawadash. Lord's will you edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.